Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict. And as you can tell by the title of the video, naturally this is going to be a news video. And after yesterday's video, this was kind of what I wanted to do to follow it up. In the background you can see the Kyanite fleets, and they're extremely simple and easy to beat. There's not really anything difficult with them at all, which is kind of sad. They're primarily just easy. Basically, you just kite them, you can destroy them. But that's enough on that subject. I'll probably talk about them never, because I'm going to be focusing on dreadnoughts as I go forward. So, on to the primary subject, and that is the changes to PvP. What the development team has planned and stuff that they've shared publicly, and the resurgence system that is being added to all ships in the game that they announced. I, for one, am a little bit excited for it because currently I do not PvP because I find it to be a bit boring, because when either player loses, well, you have the option of continue racking up repair time, or you can just stop there and you start dealing with the repair time. Either way, you're dealing with repair time. The change that they are making is a resurgence system for all ships, and it's not a half bad one at that, because it's supposed to be a 70% if what they go by in the Discord, if what Shadow said is what exactly happens, we're going to have 70% resurgence on just about every other ship type other than the Marauders. And resurgence will apply in and out of, it'll only apply in PvP, but it'll apply for both victories and losses. So if you're the victor, well, you're getting resurgence. If you're the loser, well, you're getting resurgence. And there's also going to be a limit on PvP put into place, so you can't continuously hold a player's fleet. So, you can't just grab them with a runner fleet and just hang around. Instead, what's going to happen now is we're going to have the setup of, after PvP, the fleet will be put into a cooldown. One thing I haven't asked for clarification yet is whether that will be for both the player that was attacked and the player that was defending. Because if it's for both, then it means that somebody else can't be waiting to start trolling them right away. And that also means that theoretically you could have a certain jump ship, such as the Harvester, die in a fight at full health, resurgence after the fight, return to life, and it would have a temporary time frame where it would be invulnerable to attack, where you could use the jump drive, where you'd be able to do basically just that. Now, they still haven't decided upon the time frame of which they want people to be immune to PvP, or at least not that I've noticed. And one thing I do have as a suggestion for that is around the time frame that it takes for one of the deep space drives to charge up and jump, because that would allow any type of farmer that just got jumped to continue farming and move their ships and still be safe, as well as maintain that little bit of, well, as I stated, safety. Because when you can jump while you're immune to PvP, you're not going to have too many issues. So, moving forwards, the change, I believe, is supposed to go live in March. So, expect that to be featured, and PvP in March and afterwards to be featured, because I actually really, really want to do that. Just because that actually interests me. And what I mean by that is exactly what it sounds like. I don't always PvP, but when I do, it's normally low-level stuff where anyone that really loses doesn't technically lose due to it being such a low repair time, or in more cases than not, an insta-repair time. Hence why I tend to use Victoria with a fleet of something like Rancors, or just for a little bit of a laugh, take the fleet commander and apply her to a fleet of corvettes, and then have said corvettes go into PvP fights with each other. Naturally, the reason I bring this up is because I used to make PvP videos of the Civil Wars and the Alliance Wars. I only ever made 3 of them because I typically only took the clips from said videos, but after the resurgence occurs, I may take videos a little bit more regularly. Now, base attacks I will not be including because even after the base changes happen, I still don't think bases are going to be viable to defend themselves because I don't think the development team will be able to keep up with the output of whatever is necessary to keep bases capable of defending themselves. So, any type of base attack against me or anyone else, I will just disregard because I don't see it as being necessary on the channel. And that being said, the content on the channel. What I originally started the channel for is what I want to get back into and what I started doing with other games that I don't do with VEGA. And that is just gameplay, as with such as what I do with World of Tanks. Every now and then what I'm trying to do with VEGA, to at least keep it interesting or entertaining, is hit a few different targets and commentate on said video. Similar to what I do here, but it'll be focused on the gameplay. And the intention is to either comment or look into ways that I can provide feedback for the development team, such as how to improve certain situations or something like that. Now, naturally, there's a lot of things that could be done that just haven't with VEGA. And I would like to see a large number of changes occur in the game, but again, it's a matter of thinking up exactly how you'd want them to occur. And right now, the biggest issue I see with the game, well, if you guys actually want to talk about it, you can just go to the previous video. I'll be more than content to talk about it. But on the subject of the gameplay and stuff like that, I'm primarily going to be using Dreadnoughts still because it's primarily what I use. They're basically the go-to thing for me because I rarely fly actual fleets, as you see what's going on in the background right now, of the operators and the vectors trying to farm the Kyanite fleets. But it's going to be interesting, and the reason I keep stalling is because I'm tired, naturally. It's late. I've basically put this video off till the last minute. I mean, it's the end of the week. I'm getting ready to go into the weekend mode of just playing games, but have a few other things related to the channel. Content should become more varied as time goes on because now I'm making money off of monetization, thankfully. The plan for this year for me is to begin putting together a new computer. Now, I'm going to open Patreon and all that. Now, I'm not going to say when because I still haven't decided on exactly when. I still haven't actually started going through that process. But for now, the goal is simply to start getting the computer built up and stuff like that. And the reason I bring this up is because I do not know at the moment, due to what's going on. I don't know if it's the CPU or my GPU that's dying. But either way, I'm going to be buying a replacement for both fairly soon. In the case of the CPU, it's an upgrade, but in the case of the GPU, it is... well, it's just the fans that are burned out on it, so I'll be replacing them, so it won't be too difficult. So content should get a little bit better after I get the new CPU, but don't take my word for it because I still have to buy new hard drives and stuff like that, because I've had these ones for a good enough a long while, and they've been well used. I mean, they were used before I had them, so hand me down hard drives, everybody. Okay. Well, now you know the general idea of what I'm going to be doing this year and what I want to be doing, as well as what I want to do content-wise. A little bit more VEGA content that's more gameplay-oriented, and tutorial-wise, they kind of come out when they come out. But for everything else, the idea is fairly straightforward and simple. Upgrade the computer, start getting a larger variety of content, and that's it. Literally just a larger variety of content, because that's mainly what I want to do. And during this fight, the computer, it was a mixture of the internet lagging, because the entire time I was playing, I had a horrible internet connection. So the Vega videos, they won't really be affected by the computer changes and stuff like that currently, due to my computer just, I mean, it runs Vega fine most of the time, but when it lags, it lags. But enough of that subject. So everyone knows now that PvP will be coming back to the channel in some form or another. I still don't quite know exactly how it will be returning, but I do know that it will be returning. As for what I intend on doing, well, cover Alliance Wars again, because they happen a bit, but that's going to be it. I've rambled on long enough. I should probably get ready for bed. But be safe out there, my pack. Happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you later.